Hello, my name is Felipe Peguero, and today I'm bringing a financial optimization approach to optimize the renovation and rehabilitation programs in cocoa agroforestry system. This is a joint effort by a multidisciplinary team at CATIE in collaboration with other research centers. So in the content, we're going to cover the need for renovation and rehabilitation programs, a complete renovation, the partial renovation, and the theoretical optimization, and a workbook and tool for technicians that we produce, and then conclusion. As we all know, the cocoa-based agroforestry system are assets whose productivity decline with age. We also know that worldwide there is a poor habit of renovation and rehabilitation practices, and that contribute to the low level of productivity affecting the livelihood of millions. Low productivity incentivizes farmers to establish new cocoa farms in the forest, contributing to deforestation, carbon emission, and biodiversity loss. As you can see, the need for renovation and rehabilitation are a widespread and important topic. It is estimated that 5.3 million hectares of cocoa require renovation or rehabilitation, which is equivalent to a demand of $50 billion in financial resources. Now the question is, how do we optimize those renovation periods so we do not have issues with declining productivity? So to answer that question, let's first explain that for a complete renovation, we start with an old orchard, an old cocoa agroforestry system, which eventually need to be replaced, hopefully, by a superior or improved cocoa agroforestry system. The old orchard, we're going to call it Defender, and the improved version of the agroforestry system, we're going to call Challenger. As you can see, each year, each component generates cash flow, which need to be discounted to calculate the net present value. So as you change the renovation period, then the net present value changes. Our approach to determine the optimal renovation time is based on the asset replacement theory, following the methodology of Dr. Perry in 1972. The objective function is basically the net present value in continuous form, as you can see there, where the Defender generates the cash flow up to a period J, where renovation takes place and the farmer is required to make an investment. After that period, the Challenger starts generating cash flow, and all those cash flows are then discounted through time to calculate the net present value. This theory has been applied broadly to determine the replacement policies for machinery, for forestry, for citrus, palm oil, etc. But there is limited attention to how to renovate agroforestry system. Our contribution here is that we have incorporated all those components that constitute a agroforestry system. As you can see, the assumption that we are making is that the farmers want to maximize the net present value of future cash flow, and basically our problem is to find the letter J, which represents the renovation period, that optimize, that maximize the net present value. In here you can see the optimization solution, which indicate that the optimal time for renovation is when the marginal cash flow in period J, let's say, is equal or less than the opportunity cost of not renovating. For example, if we see that green dot, those two green dots, the marginal cash flow obtained in those periods J1 and J2 for the current agroforestry system, as you can see, it is greater than the opportunity cost of not renovating, which is defined by the other line. In period J, both curves, the marginal cash flow and the opportunity cost of not renovating intersect, and that is the period where the net present value is maximized, which indicate the optimal time to do a full renovation. In period J4, it is not the optimal time for renovation, but if the farmer is in that red dot that you see there, he's better off renovating the cocoa than not renovating. You might be asking now, what is the opportunity cost of not renovating? Well, the way we have defined this is by the potential return gained in a period J, the renovation period, for money equivalent to the harvest timber, the net present value of the challenger, and the land appreciation. We did a case study for a farm in Costa Rica, and we basically applied the theory to find the optimal renovation time. And in order to test the theory, we compared the result with another iterative optimization routine, and both optimizations yield the same result, which give us confidence on the theoretical framework. Also, the theoretical framework we derive allow us to do what-if analysis without the need to making a whole empirical analysis every time that we want to test a policy. For example, interventions such as fertilization program, pruning, cyclical price increase, let's say in the short term, income diversification. These are factors that will increase the cash flow of the defender, as you can see here in the graph, therefore delaying the renovation period. Conversely, there are factors that could decrease the cash flow of the defender. For example, diseases, dry spell, mismanagement, among others. In that case, the renovation will occur faster. Likewise, we could have other factors that increase the opportunity cost of not renovating, and that will shift that curve up, as you saw. The higher the opportunity cost, the faster the renovation occurs. For example, subsidies, a highly profitable challenger, low discounting rate, all these factors will increase the opportunity cost of not renovating. Renovation programs are costly, especially for small farmers who usually don't have the disposable income to make large investment. Here the question is, when do we start the renovation program and how much to renovate per year? As we can see in this graph, some farmers might want to reduce the debt value during the renovation period, while other farmers might want just to maximize the net present value. In here, we present the theoretical framework for a partial renovation program. Let's say a farmer wants to do a renovation and rehabilitation program during 4 years. Basically, we divide the farm in 4 equal parts. Each year, then, we renovate 25% of the orchard. So that implies that we're going to have a transition period of 4 years where cash flows will be coming from the defender and the challenger. And after that transition period, we're going to have 4 cohorts of different ages leading to a dynamic projection of cash flows. The math is quite complicated, somewhat more complicated. However, the conclusions are similar to the full renovation. The only thing to remember here is the cash flow during the transition period. Those cash flows do matter for the decision. And the optimization rule here is defined by a vector of derivative. So the theoretical framework is very important to lay out the foundation to optimize the renovation programs, but we need to bring the language down for technicians and producers. For that reason, we produce a workbook and a Excel application tool, and basically the technicians can enter the biophysical and market information for the defender and the challenger, and the tool automatically produces the necessary indicator so they can take a decision. In conclusions, We have provided a simplified tool to analyze renovation and rehabilitation programs. This framework is currently promoted in Latin America and the Caribbean to guide the renovation programs. The optimal replacement policies derived is based on a deterministic approach. Thus, we think that future studies need to address the stochastic nature of the market, yield, and production costs. And the financial optimization also that we did rely heavily on the assumption that farmers want to maximize the net present value of future cash flow, which is not always the case or the objective, especially for small farmers with cash constraint. Future financial optimization must also consider environmental services, and why not including payment for environmental services? That could be an option too. What is needed to advance research on rehabilitation renovation programs? We think that at this stage, it's necessary to obtain regional data about the traditional and modern agroforestry system, because we think this could allow us to do some generalization about the optimal renovation time per region and country. Thank you so much. Here are my contact information if you have any questions.